Hey, what's up? This is Venger Satanis, the Grognard de Noir. And hopefully, even though it's been a long time since I've made a video, you've been keeping up with my old school gaming blog, because that's where I do most of my writing and thinking and reviewing of different things that I like or don't like. Anyway, someone wrote to me about making a video on ending a session or an adventure, and I'm going to just talk briefly about ending a campaign too, because I recently did that. So really, there are three types or different ways you can end a particular gaming session. You can end right after something significant happens, right before something significant happens, or in the middle. I think most of the time people do one of the first two rather than the third. The third is a little trickier. You you don't want to end a session right in the middle of combat. Sometimes you can sense as a game master, dungeon master, whatever, that in the middle of an encounter, like a non-combat encounter, you come to sort of a turning point. Maybe some new information is revealed, or something else has happened that changes things. You can kind of end there, but most of the time, especially for beginners and intermediate game masters, I would suggest ending right after, like a combat or an encounter or discovering something new, or entering a city or role playing with some NPCs, or right before that. You want to. I mean, on the one hand, you want to tantalize the players with like, oh, this is yet to come. Kind of like a cliffhanger, I guess. But on the other hand, you want to get as far as you can and then find a good stopping point. And if the last half hour or even 20 minutes of the game has been combat, and you've been stretching the game time out so you can finish, then when you finally finish, you just be like, okay, you guys can loot the treasure and find a place to rest, and then we'll pick it up next week or whatever. That's about it. As for ending a campaign, well, the last adventure should be of some importance. It should be somewhat significant in the character's journey. Also, if you can somehow tie the last adventure in with something something significant or noteworthy that the players have encountered or done or created goals for in in the beginning or in the middle of the campaign, that is also good. I Instead of just at the end of the last session just being like, hey, surprise, that was the end, I always like to let people know ahead of time. Say like, by the way, this next session is going to be the last one, or we got 3 more weeks, 3 more sessions to go, and then the campaign's done, something like that. You don't want to give. I don't know. It's up to you. I wouldn't give too much lag time. Like I wouldn't say, like, oh, the next 7 weeks from now, campaign's done. Unless you know that it's a short-term campaign to begin with. Like I would say up front, like this campaign is only going to last 7 sessions. I wouldn't go a whole year of playing and then be like, there's 7 sessions left, because then in the characters' minds, they're going to be counting down, and they're going to be thinking like, oh, okay, well, this is, that's going to be in their minds a lot, and it's going to influence how they play their characters, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll want to cut out of the game early if they know that there's only going to be 7, or they're going to whine. They're going to whine about like, why can't it last longer? Uh, which is fine, which is probably good because it means that they're having a good time and they want to keep playing. But a campaign has to end eventually. I mean, I've heard about people with like 20-year campaigns. I just don't know how that's possible. But that's me. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any other questions or want to comment or do a video response or just a regular response or something, that would be awesome. Liberation of the Demon Slayer, my old school mega dungeon that I'm self-publishing, that is going to be done very soon. We're on the last little bits. Dyson, the map guy, is just finishing the final details. And then Ed, the layout guy, is putting it all together. And he's got a good start. And hopefully, I want to have it done and available by the end of August. And I think that's still achievable. So I should know more in a week or two if it's in the can or just about to be. So that's it. Okay. Yeah, Cthulhu for talking.